So this is my 2018 Outback, and since I've been fishing it a couple seasons now, I've gotten to know it pretty good, and it's a good boat for, let's see, how did I say this? It's like the most you would want, but sometimes it's a little too much. If you're in a smaller lake and it's like this one where it's only maybe half mile from front to back, the extra weight and production that goes with everything, sometimes, you know, even though my son is in my paddle perception, I sometimes think if I had two of those today, I would have taken out that instead of bringing this. When it's windy or when you have distance to travel, the pedals are all the difference. I mean, your legs are so much stronger than your arms and shoulders, and the speeds that you can reach and maintain with the pedals, there's no paddle fishing kayaks that are going to keep up. Now, touring kayaks, it's a different story, but as far as the fishing platform, there's nothing that's going to keep up with the pedals. Even a Pro Angler 14, as big as that and heavy as that is, that'll still roll through the water pretty good. The one nice thing about the Outback is it's quick. Like, it can get 5-6 paddle strokes and you can get up to almost 3 miles an hour fairly quick. Not that you would ever have a reason to do that, but it gives you a taste of like how nimble it is. I also like, because a lot of the lakes I fish are shallow, the fact that you can split the drives and put the do a flutter kick, they call it. So, you know, because your paddles are sticking down pretty far, and you know, when you split them, they go up against the bottom of the hole like that, and that's good. You can draft in, you know, 6 inches of water if you do that, and you can just kick one forward. I think they even give you a strap here if you want to hook it on a pedal to hold it so that it stays in that position, but they'll stay by themselves. Another nice feature, I hate the way the rudder goes down. Like, you can see it flips up, and it seems like there's a lot going on back there to get it to do that. I will say too, without the rudder, this thing does not track for crap. So that's down. Another thing you can do is, if you're in shallow, instead of hooking and anchoring your rudder to stay down, you can leave this loose. And if you hit something while you're traveling, it'll tend to kick the rudder up instead of like damaging something. So that's a nice feature that I don't even know if they advertise that, but that I've learned. Most of the time I keep it down. I try and stay out of the real shallow stuff. But sometimes when it's summer and you want to just park in the middle of a section of pads, this ain't the boat for that. It's a pain in the ass. You know, you try and go on pads with this, your drive's going to get all hooked up, your rudder's going to get all hooked up, and you got to end up pulling stuff out, and it's just something like that is so simple, it's so versatile, it's more like a four-wheel drive of a kayak. You go anywhere with that thing. You can go in a couple inches of water with that thing and not even sweat it. But for what it is and the weight, it's about the max you would want, unless you had a trailer. Because, you know, it's I think 70, 80 pounds without anything, but you know you're going to put stuff on it. So by the time you're carrying it out of your garage or your basement or whatever, you know, you're hauling around 80, 90 pounds. And that's even without the drive or the seat or anything else in it. And you do notice it. Pulling something like that Perception Pescador Pro out of my garage, I can take that thing out of my basement, carry it up the steps by myself. I think that boat's 64 pounds. Tracks well. It's pretty quick. It's stable. Not as stable as this, but it's a good boat. I like the way they outfit these, though. You have, if the seating where you can put your legs up like this is so comfortable. The seat's so comfortable. The steering's a little touchy. It tends to take a lot of adjustment as you're traveling. But it's a solid platform. Nothing?
I lost my box.
You lost your what?
My tackle box.
How do you lose a tackle box?
I don't know.
In the wood or somewhere?
I don't know. I don't know if I left it at home. I don't know.
All your lures?
The one with all the worms. I still have this one.
What would it look like?
Exactly like this one.
Dude, they float. If you dump that over, it's gonna float.
I didn't dump it. I don't know how it would have got out of mine.
You don't remember if you had it when you got in the boat?
No.
Yeah, so continuing on, you know, it's nice you got access to the inside of the boat here, and I went and bought a deeper bucket. They don't give you this one, they give you the shallow one. This one's deeper. And I put the shallow one in the back, keep this one here, you know, with some little stuff in it. It's easy access, it's out of your way. You can stand on it, and the front hatch is nice because you can just scoot right up here, and you know, it's nice and big. They also, I had to buy this. You don't get these with the boat, but you have access to the inside there that you can store even more stuff. But that's easy to get to. I went and added a lot of stuff. I added stainless steel eyelets. I wrap these across like this, and when I'm beaching, I take the drive out and slide it underneath like this, just so it doesn't fall in the water and I have to go in after it. That would suck. But the rod holders, man, they're okay. They work. They do what they're supposed to. The plugs never stay in. You know, once you take them out, they're never going to stay in right. And then sometimes junked up water gets in there, and you got to flip it over and hose it out. But I'll tell you another nice thing. The seat is great too, but you can kick. Like, I would normally run these drives on a 6, but if I put them on a 7, especially when I'm like barefooting, you can just sit here and go like this and cruise on down a shoreline at like 1 mile an hour. It's really nice. You know, you can just fish, and you don't have to, you know, keep the paddle in your lap, or every couple, you know, minutes take a stroke to move yourself down. You can just kind of, it's almost like having a little trolling motor, and you can just go right down, run right down a bank. So I really like that. I've put some other stuff in it, like, you know, tracks for stuff, mounts, you know. I wish that there was enough space where they had put a tackle box that you could fit on the side here. Like a lot of the newer boats, you could put the tackle box right here, and this one doesn't have the space for it. As long as it didn't hit my elbows, it would be nice. I don't know if they could make it that deep or not. The trays on the side are nice. You know, I run my weight, leave it right here, you know, when I'm cruising, so I can just toss it over the side. And I don't run an anchor trolley, but if you put or what do they call it, carabiners up here, like depending on how the wind's blowing, I can pull that line up, hook it in here, and then hook it down. And that usually ends me, I can face myself whichever way I need to with the wind blowing, just by doing that. And most of the time I don't even have to do it, because you know, you got like a 180 degree area that you can fish from, you know, being a seating position. So the only time you have to do that is if the wind's blowing funny and you want to fish something that was behind you, then you got to start, you know, playing with that. But you know, it's a solid boat, and when you buy one and you go sit in one and you pick it up, you can feel it's really well made, and it'll last years. It's a heavier plastic than a lot of the other boats that I've been in, especially the Perception. You know, whereas the Perception's a $700-800 boat, and you know, and this is considerably more. You can just tell by it's a heavier build, and the seat, you know, you can raise it up. It's got like 2 different settings in the back where you can have it. There's a kickstand that you pull out, and it makes those little things come out. So there's a shelf that they sit on there, and this is the highest that it goes, the way that it sits right now. And it feels really high. I don't fish like that. Like I said, I usually like to have my legs even, and when you have the seat up this high, it's kind of like, it's not as comfortable in my opinion, so I never do that. Big gripe though is if you lean forward, boom, the kickstand will drop and your ass will drop, and that's kind of annoying. But you can put the kickstand, the back of the seat can go in 3 different positions. You can have it completely down, you can have it on the kickstand sitting on the floor, or you can have it on the kickstand sitting on that position. So there's 3 different levels for the back. And it's a very comfortable seat. You can do all day in that seat, no problem. It doesn't get too hot, it's got nice ventilation, it's thick, it's got nice support to it, and it's very adjustable. So, but yeah, see, like even this just, to me, I never mess with the seat. I always leave it pretty much down all the way. And maybe just a little bit up in the front. It makes you feel really, really stable to sit lower like this. Like you feel super stable down in this position. And like I said, the way they have this flat here, this is just like it's like a living room chair sitting in here and just throwing. What else? Yeah, I mean, other than the weight and the rudder design in the back, I wish it was a different rudder. I know the newer ones, like the Compass, have different rudder setups. But I would definitely take this offshore. I would go out saltwater with this. It's very well set up for that. Whereas something like that, I would not want to go out into a bay or saltwater on something like that. What I worry about is like a big wind picks up, you know, and you start having to fight a 10, 20 mile an hour wind and something like that, where you're, as soon as you stop paddling, you're going backwards, and if you're heading into the wind, something like this, you can cut it and you can go, you know, like I said, your legs are a lot stronger. So yeah, it's a good boat for what it is, and it's nice to, it's at the maximum for portability. I throw it in the back of my truck. I wouldn't get yellow again. It seems to get stained up pretty good, but if I was out in the ocean or bay, it would be nice having yellow. You're way more visible. So it's kind of, you know, whatever you want to do with your boat. These are just some of my thoughts on it. Would I buy another one? Yeah. You know, if something happened to this, if it fell out of the back of my truck and got wrecked and somebody was going to give me another one for free, yeah, I would take another one. I would take a Pro Angler if I had a trailer. Then I would do a Pro Angler, because those things, my neighbor has one, and they're a bit to muscle around without a trailer for 2 guys. So, but yeah. So if you got any questions or you thinking about buying one, you know, and you want to know something I didn't cover, leave me a message. I'll answer it.